Hi everyone,
Hello everyone.
welcome back to our channel and thank you for all your support, caring messages, and all the love you're pouring on us. We really appreciate that. It's amazing.
Thank you for one more member as well in our YouTube members channel. It's also very welcoming. Thank you so much.
Today we are going to be answering a question to one of you. It's Carrie Carlisle, and the question is as follows. Are you saying Petya was in divine masculine energy and Andre was in divine feminine energy? How do you know who occupies which energy? Or does the dynamic of who holds which energy shift back and forth between the twins? I think that's a great question.
Yes. I will say my perspective anywhere in this video, and Petya will also say her perspective because it's the same. It's just that I explain in different ways. She explained in another way. But yeah, so choice.
Yes, I just want to mention we're going to speak a lot from our personal experience.
Yes.
We have been observing our actions, reactions, behavior, everything throughout before and after our physical connection together. In the awakening processes, we started the awakening process before we actually met each other.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a lot based on what we have been observing, and also from other people that have been connecting with us, other twin flame couples and stuff.
And the awakening process, when we say that, we say, like when you are aware of yourself and the actions and stuff. But little did we know that this was the bare beginning. Like there was a ton of more things to happen to us and to do. So yeah, when you awaken, this is just to say hello, but that's it.
Yeah.
The conversation didn't start. You're saying hello, and after that, you start the conversation to have something more serious. And so for me, in my experience, in our experience, but in my perception, I like to use the visualization of we are not just walking bodies like here and there, because when we emphasize on twin flames from an earthly perspective, we see it more like this person is not matching with me, or what's going on, why we are not together, blah blah. But we have to remember that we are quite big beings. Like, how can I explain? We have many bodies, and we irradiate. We irradiate our energy quite further ahead than our bodies. Our bodies is like a very simple, very small diameter, but our soul or our other bodies are quite humongous. So when we meet our twin,
That's the aura.
yeah, the aura.
If we can sum it up in this.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome, Andrezinho.
So when we walk in the field, the energy field of our twin, it is an explosion. There's many things going on. First of all, there's like an acceptance, and we thought that like we meet each other, that's it, we are together, and end of story.
Happy ever after.
Happy ever after. But we didn't know that. We didn't even knew what Twin Flames was all about. And we couldn't care less about the label Twin Flames. We are just using because everyone does use. But otherwise, it's deeper than even the name, what the name implies. So we connected together. So it's like our auras are touching each other. They are not entering yet. They're just touching. And then we start to accept each other, how she is, how I am, how my life is, how our life is. And then we start to merge. And the merging really starts to have some action going on.
Serious stuff.
Serious stuff. Can be drama, can be action, can be explosions, all kinds of stuff. You start revising your life, like, is this what I really want? Instead of living a simple, normal life, and I'm here battling, for my survival. But the thing is that As soon as you start merging, you cannot really go back like this. There is a scar that is put in your life. And this scar brings good vibes and bad vibes. The bad vibes are, what did I do? I actually want my life back, you know. But when you start to go back to your old life, you actually start to see how pointless it is, how much alone you were all your life. You were living a lie, because whoever is with you, or whoever has been with you all your life, they have been because of the majority of what you have been told by your family, how you should be, how you should live. But with your twin, you become a totally different being. You're not becoming a fake person. You're becoming more of your true self. But it's not. I'm not teaching you anything. I'm saying what happened to our life, as easier as you can understand. And yeah, and there's more to come. But this is just how we start to exchange, me having the divine feminine after meeting Petya, and her having the divine masculine.
Now, I want to clarify something for all of you to simplify the process. With the awakening, we have been also using a lot of systems, incorporating them together, combining them with our intuition. So we are referring to different things like sometimes astrology, human design, the yin-yang perspective and stuff like this. And recently, by the way, we got a comment regarding this, that since when human design is something spiritual, because the twin flame journey is basically a spiritual thing. With time we realized that there is no spiritual and non-spiritual stuff. Everything is spiritual and everything is non-spiritual at the same time. Even our physical body, just as Andrea said, our aura has different layers of bodies, and we should never forget we start with the physical body. Without the physical body, we are no one here on earth. We are just a ghost.
It's very important, the body.
Basically all kind of traumas, emotions, anything we go through, they are based on the well-being of our physical body. There's centers in the brain, for example, parts of the brain that are responsible for our emotions, which means if we don't feed good the brain, we are putting ourselves at risk of experiencing extreme emotions, and this leads to bringing up traumas to the surface, maybe sometimes non-existent ones. And it's a very serious thing that almost nobody speaks about out there. To me, is a very serious thing, because we start to tend to believe that it all depends on changing the perception of things. But whoever tried this method, they understood with time that at some point it just stops working, because you cannot just hypnotize yourself and keep on convincing yourself that this is the way to go, this is the way to go, this is the way to go, but then you're not working on stabilizing yourself. And if you're not stable, how can you convince yourself into something totally different? It is impossible. And this is how the yin and yang energies are working, the feminine and the masculine. Ultimately, we really need to understand, all of us without exception, that the polarities are just the extremes of the same thing. There is one energy only, and this is actually the law of Trinity. That was one of the first things that Kundalini gave me as knowledge when she came out of my crown chakra, that everything in the universe, the balance of universe, is based on Trinity. And what does this mean? Trinity means the yin and the yang energies working as one. So if we imagine the triangle like this, on the one side is the yin and on the other side is the yang energy, and they meet up here at the edge, and this forms the triangle, the Trinity principle. So only we have balance when both are meeting and working together strongly. If we just focus on the one or on the other side, we are working out of balance. We immediately go out of balance. And of course, the universe naturally will put us back in balance by sending us from the other polarity of energy, but in another form, a form that perhaps we didn't desire. And this is where we start to experience dramatic situations in our life. And in this aspect, what is the feminine and what is the masculine? Meeting and communicating with many people and doing consultations with two different people, we actually made a little statistics. And we are not saying that this is like worldwide valid, because it's not like a huge based on thousands of people. We didn't work with that many people yet, but what we realized is that the majority, this is not a rule that I'm telling you, but the majority of people who come in a feminine body like me, they actually have predominant yang energy, which is the masculine energy. And people who come in masculine bodies, physical bodies like Andre, they have predominant yin energy, which is the feminine polarity of the energy. What does this mean? That we are actually coming here to experience the other polarity of what we are. And that's a very interesting thing. Of course, not everybody is in this way. There are people who have pretty much as much yin and that much as yang energy. This does not mean that they are balanced, because these are just aspects of the yin and aspects of the yang energy, but they have almost similar amounts of both. And there's people who have with just a little bit more yin or yang, and there's people who come entirely yin or entirely yang in terms of energy.
And then we have also to remember that when we are on Earth without our partner, and the more alone we are, the more we think we are balanced, because we start to balance ourselves, and we are like, okay, I achieved balance, I don't have so much stress in my life, I'm very good. But there's a yin yang for individual people, and there's a yin yang for when you are with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I say now because every year that passes that I'm with Petya, I feel that because they want to hear this, they want to hear how exactly do you feel being with your partner right now. So like every single year that passes between me and Petya, I feel that we are this, but when a year passes, we actually changed. We are different. I'm not going to say better. I'm just going to say we're different. We keep on evolving more and more.
Mm-hmm.
We are merging and becoming one another, but we still have no clue what is up next. There's no 3 stages in the twin flame community. There's probably infinite amount. We still don't know what's going to happen, and all this is still undiscovered. We are still seeing what's happening technically.
If I come from our personal experience, that's how I see it. We were stepping into the other's polarity a little bit just when we met, and I think that's almost like a necessary factor for the bond to happen. This doesn't mean balanced, because the moment we got together, it's like I started reflecting you and you started reflecting me on certain aspects. And if I have to use human design, these are the aspects where we didn't have, where one of us had an empty center and the other had it defined. And we have quite a few of these.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, this becomes very dramatic, because when the empty center reflects the full center of a certain aspect, it exaggerates it. On top of all, it doesn't just reflect it, it exaggerates it. And by exaggerating it, it makes it very difficult to accept it, to understand it. So the person with the defined starts to think that the other one who has the empty center is the dramatic one. But they're just an empty vessel.
And there's something else. Because not only the human design is showing how people reflect each other to make it like a one piece, not two separate pieces. There's a very big difference reflecting a normal person that is living with you and a twin flame. It exaggerates even further.
Yes.
Because this is you. And it's very scary because you don't, even if you know nothing about twin flames, and you are just totally drawn to this person, not only because of human design, but also, who is this devil? Because this devil is your opposite, and only the devil is the opposite of God. Like,
there's this paradox that I lost my thought.
it's okay.
But it was a paradox I was having while you were speaking. But what I wanted to say eventually is that we really pulled each other our true self.
Yep.
More like. So lately we started realizing that I'm really behaving like you at the beginning and you're behaving like me at the beginning. It's like we totally exchanged our roles. But I'm thinking more and more that we actually are coming to our true selves. So at the beginning, I was not acting my true self, you are not acting your true self. And the principle of reflection started to act very vigorously, so that it shows us who truly is what. And this time of reflecting was very painful at times. It was very dramatic, because for the one who has the thing that the other is reflecting, it's very difficult almost to accept it. That it's actually coming from them, it's not coming from the other that we are thinking.
We need to remember, because twin flames can be a very complex topic, but when you see what it means, the word twin means a mirror, and what means the word flame, it means it's your devil. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing, it's just how it is. So, you are being reflected.
It's both, it's your devil and your angel.
Your devil is being reflected on you, and your other twin flame thinks you are the devil. So, and we think, I think I am the God, and she is the devil. And she thinks I am the devil.
Not literally, don't perceive it like this.
Yeah. Look, go easy on us. We are just trying to illustrate properly.
Yes, it's just, these are just symbolic examples.
Yeah.
So we can be understood. This is difficult to explain your perceptions sometimes, and yeah.
And that's all right.
I think we'll wrap it up here. I hope you understood what we tried to say. That we can all take each type of energy, because each polarity, at some point, we can embrace it and become it. Because, like I said earlier, and like you explained as well, ultimately this is the same energy, it's just different aspects of it.
Yeah.
And once we understand this, things start to become easier.
Happy after.
Yes.